But digital transformation typically involves a series of steps. It is also a very serious investment that you need to make in the future of your own company, which means that obviously there is money involved in terms of investment, in capital investment, as well as ongoing operational expenses that you need to plan. In a digital transformation journey, what we are doing is typically moving from legacy systems, which are maybe in the last 6-7 years, the technology that's been around, and moving them to the latest or even the future. So we have to make an investment that is going to be valid for the next 10 years. So we have to do it carefully. You will obviously hear a lot of buzzwords around what is the current trend. AI is a big trend.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the GB show. Today we are going to talk about product stack, latest trend in the technologies, and also the challenges in navigating digital change. To discuss on this particular topic, I have with me someone who has extensive experience in doing digital transformation in major organizations in the world. So, let me invite Vishwa Kiran, who is Global Digital Transformation Head and Managing Partner at Skillmine Technology Consulting. He has been the proponent for engineering some of the amazing product at Skillmine Consulting. Let's hear him out. Hi Vishwa, welcome to the GB show.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Great. It's pleasure is all ours having a personality like you in our office. And I have been looking into your profile with having around 3 decades of experience in digital transformation, and you're doing amazing work. I think your LinkedIn, your Instagram, the photography channels and everything which I've seen. Amazing personality. It's my pleasure to have you onboarded in my show, and thanks for coming as a guest. So how you find the vibe overall in the studio?
Amazing, yes.
Okay.
Media is always interesting.
Great. And to start with, for my audience, maybe I will like you to tell me how your journey has been, the 3 decades, what you have done, what your hobbies are, what your work, what you have all achieved, maybe, so that my, audience know you well before I deep dive into the tech part of it.
Yes. Sure. So I've been around for now 30 odd years, 3 decades, as you mentioned, in the software industry. Being an out-and-out software engineer, I started with Tally, which is a routing software company. That was the first company that I worked for. Then moved on to companies like Dell and then Accenture, and then worked in Europe, worked in the US. It's been a very interesting, long journey, which that motivates me because that's where I find a lot of the innovation happening. So that's what keeps me going every day. On the side, of course, I developed a hobby for photography, and now I've that's also keeping me running. Now that we've done 3 decades of work, I think I'm sparing some time for that as well.
Amazing. And thanks for giving me your journey about, and what I have took from here is the digital landscape. We have seen how it's been changing so fast, right?
Yes.
From cloud to artificial intelligence to blockchain. The speed is it never has been faster like this.
Indeed.
So how do you see the current digital landscape, and which is evolving, and what trends are you most excited about?
So getting away from the buzz around artificial intelligence and things like that, even like you mentioned, blockchain, I think I see the trends in a very interesting cusp where we are at a point where the industry is moved away from step-by-step instructions that we used to give, where coding was a way of kind of specifying instructions. Now it has moved to a point where the machine is going to do most of it. We'll have to use our knowledge to further the ability of our own machines. So that's what the trend is. AI becomes a way of making our work faster. It's not going to replace anybody. It's just going to make it different in the sense that it's going to make individuals more efficient, and that's where I think the growth areas are. Creativity will remain, innovation will remain. It's just that the technology tool stack has moved from hand coding to automation.
Okay. And specifically when we talk about, the application framework, how we are redefining with that, specifically the user management and security, we are talking about zero trust, MFA,
Yes.
and other things. How your point of view on that particular perspective?
Sure. So yeah, that's kind of more specific to what Skillmine is doing. So Skillmine, as you know, has developed a set of frameworks to help us accelerate our time to market or accelerate our customers' time to market. So what these frameworks do is that they kind of cut down the time required to build those pieces. Therefore, we are able to reuse these blocks everywhere. IDAM and the user management, authorization, authentication are these such frameworks which we have developed and we reuse in all our projects. So there are two parts to this. One is the solution itself, which is the kind of the technologies we've leveraged within that. The next part is how do we use it in different use cases. The way we've made it generic enough to be working in fintech, working in manufacturing, working in services. So we make sure that all the features are covered and up to the mark in such a way that all the standards, the security standards are met. For example, around OpenID Connect or on OAuth, we made sure that this is compliant. And these solutions kind of give us the building blocks to build larger solutions. So most of our customers are looking at these custom builds that we offer them. It could be on the cloud, it could be on premise, but the whole bottom line is that we are able to go to market in record time. Instead of taking 6 months, we take 15 days. So that way, that's how these frameworks help us.
Amazing. And specifically, you mentioned Skillmine Auth, specifically if we talk about how it provides the security and where we talk about, because we want the only authorized user to access the sensitive information. And most of the time when in the organizations, when we go, there is a user experience which is getting hampered, right?
Yeah.
How Skillmine Auth specifically take care of that aspect, that security is maintained, but user experience is also not getting compromised.
Correct. So I think there the main thing that Skillmine Auth kind of offers as a core feature would be ease of use, ease of deployment and ease of use for the end user.
Okay.
So we made sure that all the standards that are there right now, be it your multi-factor standards, MFA standards like FIDO, face recognition, fingerprint, biometrics, all those things are already built into the product. So for someone to use Skillmine Auth, it's just a matter of few settings and you're up and running with all these new standards.
Okay.
Therefore, friction for the end user, for our customer, friction is minimal. They just see a new mechanism that's available, and that mechanism is as per standards that are there, and just they're up and running in no time. So our whole goal is not to kind of make it very snazzy in terms of appearance, but to reduce friction in terms of how easily they can access your own systems without any hindrance. So if it is biometrics, whatever built-in biometrics are available, we leverage that, move on. So that's been the formula, I think, for success for Skillmine Auth, is to stick to standards and make sure they're available.
Amazing. And when we start using these tools, and when we are talking about the digital landscape specifically, a lot of thing which we talk about is the data, because data is, we call it the new oil, and we need to have a lot of raw data which is getting ingested into the systems, and then people are not able to make any insight out of it. But I think Skillmine has a solution that is visualization tool,
Yes.
that is DataV, right?
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
Sure. So visualization is actually more to do with the user experience than anything else. So here the problem statement that was given for data visualization to be tackled was, how do we provide dashboards to the CXOs where all the underlying information is shown in real time and all the metrics that they want to track is available to them, readily available to them. So what we did was that the product has all these primitives built into the product where you can easily adapt it to your environment. So if you are using SAP, we have an SAP adapter. If you are using Tableau, we have a Tableau adapter, and so on and so forth. Any such standards, we'll just kind of let the data be fed in. You drive your dashboards the way you want, and therefore, the experience is what you would desire. As a custom experience for your own dashboard, you can just design that on the fly. That's what the visualization is.
And that's from the experience perspective. And if I talk about decision making, right, how your tool is specifically different when an organization is using it, so they can have the better decision making.
So being real time, that's the key. So what we've done is that the entire engine is built on the real time framework, so that any decision making support data, that's basically your information that's flowing into the system in real time, is available to you immediately. So that's the secret behind helping them make these decisions faster.
Okay. And when we are talking about decisions, then I see a lot of Skillmine's different product, because that is what I love, the story, because I have Anand and Ashwin also, previously came and spoke about their journey. But the how Skillmine put the product in a line. Okay, so you have Auth, then you have data visualization, then you have content management. How you can do the storytelling, and you build across all the products. So maybe I will love to understand that the specifically customer experience when we are talking about, and the product, the e-compass which we have, right? So how that helps the organization deliver target personalized content to their user and customers.
So this is the typical problem area that all digital transformation companies go through, where they would want, they want obviously a digital presence. They want an app. They want a website that is really good. And that becomes a problem for businesses to kind of come up in with lesser investment. It becomes like a huge blockage if you don't have the best experience out there. So what we logically thought was that since we are building all these frameworks, step by step we came to a point where we were able to offer these frameworks in a package which we call eCompass. eCompass becomes our digital facade for any company. So it offers you content management, it offers you an app platform, it offers you web platform. So what happens is that with the underlying toolkits already available to you, you can very quickly create this digital presence for a company. And because of the record speed at which we move, that becomes a very compelling framework as such.
So I think Skillmine, when we talk about, they are like at the forefront of digital transformation. So maybe I will love to hear some use cases from you where Skillmine actually has helped the other organization in their digital landscape journey.
Sure. So to think about among our customers, or I would say recent customers, several use cases come to mind. If you look at the e-compass that you spoke about and the digital transformation, we helped a large, let's say, a lab chain, which had around 2,000-3,000 branches all over the west of India. We helped them with their digital transformation in such that they had obviously a legacy IT system already in place. What they didn't have was a effective communication channel to talk to their patients, the people who come for the lab testing. So and these are all something that where the lab assistant comes home, collects a sample, and then this report is sent back to the customer. So that is now the ongoing life cycle for how this lab works. What they desired was a cutting edge app and a cutting edge website which uses their current business processes, current business IT investment that they've already done, is leveraging that and then moving forward a few steps. Okay. Right? So what we did was, with the help of our solution, eCompass specifically, and Auth built into that, we were able to move from their traditional, contact points where the customers are supposed to visit the lab, then come back to collect the reports and all. We moved to a point where they have a slick app, they have a slick website. Both work in a way that they're able to connect to the customer with very little friction. It's available in all languages, and they're able to schedule tests. Now sample collection becomes a breeze because anybody sitting at home can request a test on the app or on the website, and they're able to then get the reports back collated in such a way that if there are past visits that they've done previously, all this data is collated for you. A smart report is provided to show you your health trend, and therefore what we managed to do was that move this company, which was a traditional lab testing company, to a more digital savvy, very cutting edge medical tech company.
Okay.
Right. So that transformation happened in a period of around 6 months. At this point, they now have a world-class app, and they're able to get more customers directly because of the digital presence that they have. So that directly impacts their profitability. So that's, I think, a good use case.
Exactly. With digital transformation, if you can actually, because everyone wants to do either more sales, more numbers, and if that is something, I think brilliant use case. But for a few people, still digital transformation is just a buzzword, because it seems like you have said that, okay, this is something which is happening and feels like, oh, it's Gaga journey and I can also do that maybe. But I will like you to educate my audience that what are the challenges people face when they are starting their digital journey, and what, as a expert in that particular area, what you have seen, and some challenges, and how you actually sail through or help customers to fix those challenges.
Absolutely. And when you say the people who we target, in terms of addressing these challenges. They are typically the chief executives of a medium or a large scale company. Their challenges typically are around how do I increase my footfall, how do I increase my customers, how do I increase my per customer revenue, and obviously profitability. How do I reduce costs? So these are the things that they worry about, and that's where we I think come in and target these enterprise customers. Our whole goal is to make sure that whatever investment they're making in IT is maximized such that the return on that investment is using the new technology to be able to achieve that. So when I say new technology, I mean obviously apps and websites. These are all they're there. They've been there for now 20 odd years. But how do we make it in such a way that it is scalable? It is a very user friendly one. That's one of the primary goals. The second goal would be how do we leverage things like artificial intelligence? How do we make life easy for our own customers to be able to drive this profit? And how do we do it at a lesser cost?
Okay.
So that's been the few magic metrics that we try to help our customers with. AI is a good area. That way it's emerged to a point where it has come out of research labs and come into mainstream now. Last, I would say, easily 3 years, AI is now mainstream technology. All our practices are now gearing up towards leveraging AI. A very good example could be, we work with a US based contact center. That contact center has got outgoing and inbound calls that are being made by human beings now. But obviously, the exciting thing there is that can we do AI technology application in that area where we remove the human from the equation, but still maintain the sentimental connection with the customer. Now you can't have in the good old days when you dial a automated dialer, you'd get a very mechanical voice.
Yes.
That thing is gone. You want a real human being to be on the other side. But how do we do that at less cost with AI? So, and how do we do it in a way where it doesn't emotionally affect your customer? We have to make sure that whatever we replace is now not mechanical, but actually a human-like 100% responsive, agent on the other side. And that agent happens to be another machine, is just a FYI for our customers.
Yeah, fair enough. And because even customers today, AI, we can train anyone with, I think, 10-second video.
Yes.
They will start speaking like you
Yeah.
or me. And this
Yeah,
podcast, if it is not video, people will never come to know it's you or me talking. But yeah, in videos as well, we are talking about deepfakes. But yes, I think challenges are there. But overall, knowing about the fact about the digital transformation landscape and overall the product which you have, I think you guys are doing amazing, fantabulous job. Maybe for my audience, I have a last question for you where I want you to talk to my audience directly. Now, because when they are talking or listening about the digital transformation, right? So we talk about the use cases, we talk about the challenges. Now, someone thought that, okay, no, I want to do digital transformation. Now, for him, what is the framework or what are the steps he need to be or she needs to be prepared for their journey? If you have some guidance for them who are still not started their journey but looking forward to start. So what is the advice you have for them?
Sure. So, hi. So, in terms of the, I don't have a ready cookbook as such for this enterprise journey, but digital transformation typically involves a series of steps. It is also a very serious investment that you need to make in the future of your own company, which means that obviously there is money involved in terms of investment, in capital investment, as well as ongoing operational expenses that you need to plan. In a digital transformation journey, what we are doing is typically moving from legacy systems, which are maybe in the last 6-7 years, the technology that's been around, and moving them to the latest or even the future. So we have to make an investment that is going to be valid for the next 10 years. So we have to do it carefully. You will obviously hear a lot of buzzwords around what is the current trend. AI is a big trend, blockchain is a big trend, and so on. But don't fall for that. What you should look at is tangible benefit coming from any system that's being developed, and you should be able to measure that tangible benefit in terms of real output that they can demonstrate. So any vendor that you are, Skillmine or otherwise, we will focus on the bottom line of what are the tangible benefits this digital transformation brings, and that should be your metric to measure us.
Sure. Thanks, Vishwa. I think great advice, and I hope my audience gonna love this episode. Amazing insights. Thanks for being on my show. And
you.
I have a last
Pleasure.
ritual, right? So where we have some goodies for you.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Okay. Thank you
Oh,
for coming on the show.
it was a
and,
pleasure. It was a pleasure
yes.
indeed.
Thank you everyone for watching this episode. I'll see you next week, same time. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.